Greetings, everyone. Happy Taco Tuesday. Chaz Stevens here, CEO of ESADoggy and a international activist on the other side of my life. Here today with my friends, and we're going to be talking about getting your emotional support animal chicken approved. Not an easy task. I'll talk about some of the pitfalls and talk about our experience over the years with them. Let's get right to it. Okay, the first thing we're going to talk about is regulatory and legal restrictions. I am not a lawyer. We have lawyers on staff, and we have a network of lawyers that help us out. But I can talk a little bit about that. But what I say here is not to be considered as legal advice. I am not a trained lawyer. I'm not licensed in the state of Florida or any other state as a lawyer. So take it as you get. But I've been doing this for a long time, so it's I've brushed up with the law, if you will. The answer comes down to what happens is most housing authorities won't recognize non-traditional animals. It's a jurisdiction thing, it's an organizational thing, but it makes it a big challenge. So there might be a city ordinance for having poultry in your front yard, if you will. That's the first step to get past that. It's difficult. Step number two, sort of related, health and safety concerns. I grew up on a farm. I am very chicken friendly as far as animals. I grew up on a farm in New Jersey, so I saw it all, right? Rode around horses, hard to believe that, right? So you're coming to me, I'm your cheerleader, I'm your chicken cheerleader, if you will. But there's a health and safety issues, sanitary requirements. So there's going to be some concerns about that. That's something you have to get under. Going back to the other one is housing and zoning restrictions. Noise, waste, and space concerns are often where you'll bump heads into there. You'll have to think about that. The other one, there's a bunch of number four is lack of recognition and understanding. There's been a bunch recently of research talking about the emotional health of a chicken. Chickens are getting a new look. For a while, 2016, we had a client, I think it was 2016 or 2017, we had a client, horrible case, can't talk about it, HIPAA and all that, but horrible. If there was ever truly an individual that needed the emotional support of her 6 chickens, it was this person. It was breathtaking, her story. And eventually, because of the work we did, and it wasn't quick, it wasn't your typical ESA letter, which takes us number 5, documentation, which I'll get to in just a little bit. I'll segue into that. An ESA letter, you're going to spend $150 if you're going online. 149 is the number you'll see all the time. And somebody will spend 10 minutes on time to make that $150, 10 minutes for $150. Not a bad deal if you can get it, I guess. And they're going to crank out a form letter talking about how this animal helps. It's not going to work. Trust me, not going to work. What you need is a substantially more documentation, what we call a compelling rationale. You got to tell your story. You got to tell people why you need this animal or these animals. Not just, well, I suffer from PTSD and I have anxiety, which causes me a problem to sleep at night. I got a dog, Spot. Spot helps with my anxiety, lessens my anxiety. I can sleep better at night. Good to go. That's the golden ticket on a regular ESA letter. That'll work most of the time. That's not going to work with a chicken. And if you do that, and if you go and buy one of those letters from just about everyone, you're going to raise a giant red flag. Your situation, which was already difficult enough, just became more difficult because now you're rolling around with a red flag. So disability verification, my therapists need to develop an ongoing treating relationship. They got to issue a treatment plan with you. They got to discuss your disability in quite depth and verify your disability, not just the fact that my chicken settles my anxiety, letting me sleep better at night. Not going to cut the chicken cheese, if you will. So there's a lot more to it. That takes time. That's why we need 4 one-hour sessions with you. Our therapist who chat with you for over a month to 6 weeks, once a week for 4 weeks to 6 weeks. We'll discuss your situation. They're gonna look under the covers, a lot under the covers. They're gonna understand why you need that, and make the decision. If for some reason your town is outlawing chickens and you need a get out of jail free card for your chicken, I'm sorry, I can't help you. I can't. This is not chicken centric, if you will. It's about your need for the assistance animal. It's about your need for the assistance animal. Maybe there's 6 chickens. It's about your need. HUD's guidance, FHEO 2020, published in obviously 2020, says that non-domesticated animals, reptiles, barnyard animals are not considered common household pets, and therefore HUD's opinion is no go. A lot of providers pay attention, as they should, to HUD's guidance. So HUD says no. Your city might say no. Your county might say no. Your neighbors might say no. Your housing authority might say no. That's a really tough hurdle to go over. Is there a guarantee? No. I wish I could. Your chances improve with the right documentation for your disability verification, but you're still battling an uphill battle. There's still lots of headwinds to go into it. We've done it before. We've had people say yes to us. We've had people say no to us, and that's people as in housing authorities. So we've won approvals. We've won approvals on the East Coast. We've won approvals in Alaska, I think it was. Alaska. Yeah, I think it was Alaska, Canada. No, Alaska. It was Alaska out on the West Coast. And we've been told no. And if they're told no, there's no recourse. Understand that when you're coming in here. My job is to give you the best data that I understand so that you can make your best informed decision. I'm not here to puff up your balloon. If I provide to you the documentation, a compelling rationale, and your town still says no, you can't file a HUD complaint. HUD says no, they don't recognize chickens as an emotional support animal. You can't file a discrimination complaint. I mean, you can do anything you want, of course, but you file something with HUD, it's not going to make it in the front door. If you file something, I guess, with your discrimination, your county discrimination, I don't think it's going to make it in the front door, because they're going to open the pages up to FHEO 2020, and they're on page 8 or 9. It says, no can do to reptiles and pigs and chickens and turkeys and everything else. So your battle is tough. It's possible the odds are against you, but it's possible. You can't get it done with a $150 letter. I guarantee you that's not going to work. So save your money there. You're just throwing it away. You're giving it to somebody, and they're pumping out a letter for you, and they're thanking you for their 5 or 10 minutes they spent with you to make that $150. But if you want to, you want to give it your best shot, if you want to go all in, we are the only game in town. We are the only game in town. We have experience doing that. So if I can help, give us a call, 1-800-372-4125. My name is Chaz Stevens, Chaz with a Z, Stevens with a V. I am CEO. I am Mr. Chicken around here. I love chickens. So if you want to chat with me about that, I cannot give you legal advice. I can't give you therapeutic advice, but I can certainly talk about our experience. I can't give you advice about your case either. I'm sorry, I can't do that. I can't give away our knowledge for free. It's what I'm doing right here. So I hope that's enough for you. But we'll take it to the next step. So talk soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.